Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is Ero Ps F4 in America, the circuit of the Americas to be exact. I am your host, as always, Mr. Liam Cross. I'm not joined by a co-host today, and I won't be joined by a co-host for the rest of the season. As some of you are familiar with, RPM Yeast Macaulay Beard has deleted the game, so unfortunately you're going to have to listen to my voice for an hour and a half every single weekend for the rest of the season. I'm excited for today, although at the same time slightly disappointed, and I think why may be a little bit obvious. There is only a total sum of 12 people in the lobby. We are working to get more people into this race, but attendance across Friday has been relatively poor for ERO standards, so hopefully we can still do well, but it will be tough. It will be tough. What can I say? It doesn't mean that we're not going to have good action, because all of the drivers in this squad are fairly talented individuals. Some new that I've not been able to commentate because I was away for 2 weeks, such as CRL Real DC Daniel Collier, a head admin of a very, very good league we're friendly with CRL, as you can assume, and the driver for IRT. Ero Crackshot is in the Williams alongside his teammate of Lee Webb. We have a few more teammate pairings today. Fifchio and Ruminek are in the McLaren, and the good pairing, Mr. Gonflame and Real DC, aforementioned. In Aston Martin, also the Polish Alpine duo of Kiziak and Bad Luke, not to be looked down on. They have been very, very, very impressive this year. If my calculations are correct, they are leading the constructors by a fair margin, so look out for them. Roger Well dropped down from F3 to F4 and then won his next race in F3 as a reserve. What can I say? He's a talented driver as well, but he come down motivational issues and also just results weren't going his way. Hopefully he can make this title fight a very exciting one. F4, maybe you could argue just as quick as F3 at points. And I'm very excited to see what happens. As we get going, we're going to try to get more drivers in, so I may be on my phone every so often, not fully focusing. I've got to work out what's going right, what's going wrong. This game sounds very loud. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Non-invite friends, I'm going to turn it down. No, I'm not going to. No. Audio settings one more time, down to 2. Is that sounding good? Very, very much so. Adrian Garicki goes pole with a 135.2, soon to be beaten by Crackshot Malvin Adams, a 134.5, and Bad Luke setting a poor 135.8. Let's get the track up. Who is next up? Lee Webb is going to be a 134.4, putting him into pole position with Real DC just behind to start a lap. So that's me being debated. Next up, I am gonna have to say, I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm so sorry. We will see. If I go to the standings, I just want to remind people what happened in Canada last time out. Roger Well finished P4. He didn't win the race. Who did win the race was Ruminek. Very, very impressive stuff from the McLaren driver. His 3rd podium in a row. He means business. The kid means business. And then the Aston Martin pairing of Mr. Golden Flame and Real DC rounding out the podium pairing positions. There was no incident reports, so standings are provisional. No, standings are official, my apologies. So I'm very happy to see that, I must admit. Gonna see who is up next. So at that time, it's gonna be Real DC. Surely, let's get that bad boy of a Delta up. Apologies if I stop talking at any point. I'm in considerable pain. I've bitten through my lip, so that's just another minor hurdle. But it's nothing we can't survive. Real DC's used all of his ERS. A lovely, lovely entry into the final corner, just about clipping the curb. Good exit, and where's it going to put him? P3, a 134.5, and only a thousandth behind, or a tenth behind. No, 100th behind Ero Crackshot. Those lap times are so close. Oh dear. And Aaron at some point has said a 135.4, letting the Alpha Tauri of Rogerwell go, but Rogerwell is not on a lap. If Mr. Golden Flame aborts his lap, I'm not entirely sure why, but it seems to be that he wasn't happy with what he was setting, and he invalidated, so that will definitely answer our questions. What can I say? Mr. Golden Flame starting his lap up into turn one. A fantastic corner. You get to brake late because of the momentum. Gravity obviously slowing people down. Now into turns 3 to 9. Inspired by Maggots and Beckett's, and it's not a particularly subtle inspiration. Very tough set of corners, especially for a man, a controller. Golden Flame is on the wheel, however, saying a purple first sector. Is that legit? We're going to find out. A lovely exit out of turn 9. Coming up to turn 11 again, another corner to brake late. You really want to set yourself up quite well for the straight. DRS soon to be activated, and it looks like Golden Flame has maximised what he can out of turn 11 down the back straight. This is going to be most likely the most likely overtaking opportunity. Turn 1 is possible, but I think this straight and most of sector 3 will be where you expect to see the overtakes. He's a double right-hander, but he keeps on the power, slowing it down into this very sharp left. But he goes wide, trap. Okay, it doesn't invalidate, but he does spin. That is going to be his qualifying lap over. I hope he doesn't rejoin in front of this Alpine. And he unfortunately does. Bad leak. Fortunately, not on a lap, however, so won't be the worst thing to have happened to him. And Roger Well, P2, a 134.4, a hundredth and a half off of Lee Webb. That's fantastic stuff. This field looking very close, even with the limited number of drivers. I'm happy to see that, I may say so. Morgonius will be up next in Sector 3. This is a really nice sector, I think, personally. Every corner, you can take corners different ways. It allows for a dive bomb. It allows for side-by-side action, where someone's on one foot. And then there's been a crash, though. I just want to say, Roger Well and Gary have crashed. I expect that to be reported. Sorry to interrupt Morgonius' lap. He's used all of his deployment, and he goes P6 of 134.7. Only 2.5 tenths off of Lee Webb's pole lap time, though. So that does show just how tight this field is. Yeah, very tight. But I want to say, do either of these drivers have damage? I'm not entirely sure how that's happened. Roger Well, no, I don't appear to be seeing any damage. Gary, this is a terrible camera angle. No damage either, but I would be surprised if there wasn't contact between the two. Gary Rogerwell entering the pit lane there. So whatever has happened has cost both of them their lap. Wouldn't be surprised to find that someone stopped there as bad luck. Sorry, Kiziek, my apologies, going very slowly apparently. Liweb has invalidated his lap. Crack shot with an internet issue. Hopefully he can rejoin the session soon. It'll be very tough. Let me just check these settings. Lobby options. Huh. Well, that's not good news. I may have made a little bit of a mistake, but now I'm done. As Mr. Gordon Flame starts a lap. And Mr. Gordon Flame spins for another lap. That is not good. Not good indeed. I have to say I've made a little mistake. And we will have another driver joining us, thankfully. Let's invite the friend FXN Parker. Ta-da. Beautiful stuff there. We can have some of those. Real GC with a 133.9, 5 tenths ahead of the second fastest driver. That's a fantastic lap time. Very, very impressive stuff for the serial driver indeed. And Lee Webb, Rodwell, Crackshot, and Kiziak are going to have to pull quite a lot out of the tank to match a lap time like that. But I have faith in them. I have faith that they can achieve something. Fifth show aiming to set his first proper lap. A 155 is obviously not representative of his time. Slowing down very nearly, very, very nearly getting a invalidation there. But he keeps it on track. Slowing it down, going a little bit wide, but he is maximising the circuit now, not like he was doing beforehand. Coming around this very unique triple apex, I suppose. It's a right-hander. I need to get the lap times out. So, the lap track map out here. My commentary is not up to par. Fifth Geo goes P7 on 135 flat, but a second off of pole. That's not going to give him the best of hope for what's to come. Morgonius hasn't started a lap yet. And he's invalidated, and is that... I have a fear that, yeah, he's invalidated his actual qualifying laps. He's going to have to go again, surely, you think? Or is he just committing to the invalidated lap? I'm not so sure. That is a shame. And it looks like ERS has been turned off. No, he's using quite a bit, actually. He's going for the lap anyway. He doesn't have the fuel, I suppose, to do another lap. So it makes sense. Give it your all. You're stuck in P6 at best. You know, might as well just see if you can improve. A little bit of a confidence burst. And Elliot Parker in the Red Bull has joined the session. He's leaving the pit lane. I don't know where he finished in F5. Maybe good, maybe bad. We're going to find out. Driving Max Verstappen's car. Parker is in the chat. He's excited to get going. Where is Morgonius? What is the lap time going to be so far? Okay, so he did say VRS in the end, actually. He thought that he could go one more lap. I hope he's certain. I hope he's right. We're going to get a bit of a show on here. Or is he going into the pit lane? He goes into the pit lane. Okay, I was wrong. Ignore me. Ignore me. Is Lee Webb, who was on pole for most of this session, starts his final lap, deploying all of the ERS. Can he swing the car through this tricky section of track? Yes, he can. Not quite flat out, understandable, but he's keeping the car on track, and he is a 10th up on his old lap time. He's going for pole position, and he invalidates quite significantly. So that will be the end of his qualifying. He tried so hard, and that was looking like a good lap. I expect him to just be going for it. But no, he slowed down very clearly. He's angry. I can understand that pole was on the cards. He was to set a weldy, but he unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to do so. And is Ruminek on the final lap now? Yes, he is. Ruminek yet to set a lap time. Same for Mr. Golden Flame. Finally getting the chance to do so. And he looks to be going relatively quick. 103.7 for the first and second sector combined. Now he only has a few more corners to do. Goes a little bit wide. Keeps it steady. Keeping it tight to the apex. And nearly losing control of the car, but he saved it. As 50 Morgonius' lap times are confirmed. Can Ruminek improve off the bottom step of the leaderboard? What's it going to be? Car getting a little bit wayward, and he goes P8, a 1:35. Flat only a 100th faster than his teammate, and not a great day for the McLaren stable. Next up is going to be Elliot Parker. He's had practice in F5. Can he do the goods once again? I have a feeling he can. Oh, going a little bit wide. He's going to have lots of practice. Fresh off of a race. He's conditioned to do well in this environment. What is lap time going to be coming out of the final corner? Deployment already used. That will be an issue for drivers. Up to the line, and he goes P7 on 134.8. A very nice lap time from him. Mr. Golden Flame is starting his lap. No, he can't be starting his lap now. No, he's doing it, yeah. Champ Hansen going P2 at 143.7. Very, very impressive stuff. And Roger Well aborting his lap. The final hurdle, very unfortunate for him. Next up is going to be, I have absolutely no idea, Ero Crackshot. Can he improve from P5? Yes, he can. He goes P3. Now, what about Mr. Golden Flame? P5 only, a 134.4 for him. It's an Alpine in the background, aborting his lap. Adrian Garicki, one of the only people yet to set a lap in this final run, and he comes into the pit lane. So does Bad Luke. So that is qualifying for the American Grand Prix. Finalised. Real DC is on pole, a fantastic 133.5. Another 4 tenths quicker than the already stunning lap time he set just beforehand. And then Champ Hansen in P2 at 133.7. 6 and 8 tenths ahead of the rest of the field, respectively. It looks very much like we're going to have a battle for the Asians down in Austin, in sunny Austin. Not quite as sunny as realistic Austin, but midday Austin is still very sunny. What am I talking about? Crackshot making his way up to P3 on the grid with Lee Webb making a Williams. Oh, what's going on here? Bad Luke is still pitting. Okay, it's finalised now. Beautiful. Do, 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 do. But yeah, Lee Webb making up a Williams second row, followed by Mr. Golden Flame and Roger Well. Kiziak and Morgonius make up the fourth row of the grid, with Elliot Parker and Adrian Garicki making up the final points-paying positions, with Ruminek and Fifth Geo rounding out a sixth row for McLaren, and Bad Luke, the final qualifier in this tight, tiny grid. We hope to see close action in the race. A small grid does not mean a bad grid. I know from experience from Brazil last year, there was only 10 people on the circuit, but the race was amazing. We've got 24 seconds until this race gets underway. I am excited. I hope you are excited. Apparently everyone has already started. People are very excited. It's going to be a standard medium to hard or hard to medium race. Safety cars will maybe come into play. There's not many drivers to crash here. We've got 13 people watching. I'm not entirely sure why, but thank you for joining the stream. Give me a message in the chat. Let me know if you're enjoying the stream. 25 seconds until lights out in America. Barry Kruger is not here to defend his championship lead. Can Adam Bradshaw, Mr. Golden Flame, seize the opportunity? Can Roger Well and DC get their seasons started? Can Kiziak maybe solidate his status as a dark horse in this competition? Where we got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go for the Dakota Grand Prix down in Austin for Ero Ps F4. Champ Hansen getting a fantastic start. Lee Webb an even better one, and DC has to give the lead away. We've got an Alpine driver of Bad Luke, I want to say, going incredibly wide, but DC loses first position to Champ Hansen, with the Williams drivers still P3 and P4, those swapping positions. We've got a little bit of a budge in the back of the field. I'm trying to see who it is. The Alpine drivers very close together, and there's a McLaren or Fifth Geo down in P13, spinning with Ruminek in P12. A bad start for those two, both losing a position. At the back of the field, Adrian Goricki also losing a position. It's a bad leak. You could possibly report for going extra wide at turn 1. And we've got a 2 wide here, Roger Well and Mr. Golden Flame going at it. This is very, very tight stuff. Roger Well to the outside. Can he make the move stick? There's no DRS activated until lap 3, of course. And on the hard compound, he just can't get the move done. Morgoni is just behind on medium compound of tyres. I want to see who's on what tyre. Okay, mostly on the hards, but Lee Webb... Oh, no, actually. Let me count that. 7 on the hard, 6 on the medium. Lee Webb, the best of the medium runners, and Roger Well looking for a move as Morgonius is spun, possibly due to contact with Elliot Parker. That will be reported after the race. You'd have to imagine Kiziak and Bad Luke without a bit of a front wing, maybe making contact with Morgonius into the pit lane after a very scraggly lap 1. That is not how he wanted to start his race. That's quite a shame. Ruminek separated from the pack ever so slightly. And it looks like we're going to have a battle for the lead on our hands. Hansen and Collier going to work. The Williams drivers as well, very close behind. Lee Webb maybe hoping for a little bit of teamwork here. As the guy on the softer compound of tyres who needs to make the positions up now. Screaming at his teammate, let me through. But is he going to do so? You never ever know. Roger Well did make the overtake on Mr. Golden Flame at some point. We're going to get the ERS up for you, because we know it upsets people when we don't do that. Roger Well using a little bit more than Adam Bradshaw. Elliott Parker using none at all. So Elliott Parker stable for the race as Lee Webb finally makes the overtake on Crackshot. Crackshot giving the position away. Not barreling too much. Lee Webb with a healthy bit of ERS. Daniel Correa using slightly less ERS than the Alfa Romeo driver ahead of him. And then there's four groups of cars forming, I'd say. P1. Oh, we've got a spinner! And it's Champ Hansen. Oh no, he's in the lead of this race. What's happened? Okay, that was a very illegal rejoin. Like, super illegal. That will be reported after the race, I have to imagine. Slowing down as DC sets the fastest lap of the session. That is of no surprise to anyone. He now has the race to himself unless Lee Webb can catch up and slow down his compatriot. Forgot to mention that Elliott Parker is also American. This is his home Grand Prix. Ennis finally able to race, but the race has already started. There's no way we're doing a restart. Elliott Parker getting very scraggly though. Wouldn't surprise me if a time penalty is coming his way ever so shortly. But he will get the DRS of the cars ahead, and DC's trying his hardest to control the pack. We've got a yellow flag, and this Morgoni is spinning once again. Was there contact with someone else? Possibly, I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't look like Champ Hansen has damage, but if he did, we would know why. With another yellow flag, and Zero Crackshot out of the Grand Prix. He's made a collision with Lee Webb. What is going on here? How many cars was that off track? Okay, what? Hang on, I'm so confused. Champ Hansen has spun, that's understandable. Crackshot has also spun. Lee Webb must have spun and Mr. Golden Flame into the pit lane with damage. That was absolute carnage. Okay, so I understand what happened there. I thought DC was Golden Flame. No, I thought Golden Flame was DC, so I was very confused there. But that gives DC, this track is his for the taking now. Oh, his competition have all crashed. The top three have all crashed. I don't know, we got another yellow flag. It's for another spinner this time. Lee Webb, and he's waiting to do a safe rejoin. Nice to see. But maybe this is a bit too safe. It does look like he doesn't really want to get going after what was such a good start to the race. Adrian Goricki being overtaken by his fellow Polishman in Ruminski. 17 people watching now. Thank you for joining the stream as Elliott Parker gets a 3-second time penalty in P3. Hot on the wheels of Rogerwell. Elliott Parker showing that he does indeed have the pace here. Crackshot leaving the session, understandable. Not participating in the race anymore. Points only go down to P10 as is real life F1 rules. So if two more people to DNF, you have guaranteed points if you get across the line. It's going to be tight. And with a field spread like this, it'd be weird to see that many collisions as Champ Hansen appears to have spun once again. He just cannot get those tyres warmed up properly. Nearly heading into the pit lane accidentally there, which is how hot these tyres are. It might be best for him to slow down just a little bit, cool the tyres, get back up to racing lanes as DC really is running away with things now. The only real battle I can see here is Elliott Parker and Rogerwell. Elliott Parker on the chase. He wants to do a good performance in his home Grand Prix. That's understandable. That makes sense. We've got another yellow flag. It's for Lee Webb. Once again losing control of the car. And looks like he's actually heading into the pit lane. possibly to retire. I'm entirely sure he is going very slowly to the pit lane. I expect him to retire here, be gutting for Williams. Started P3 and P4. Already down to last and last as Elliot Parker going for the move down the inside. He's going for the switchback. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely switchback. Doesn't work the first time. Does it work the second time, though? That's a lovely dive from the American. And he makes the move stick. Roger Wells simply unable to defend. And that's what I was talking about in Sector 3. Multiple lines for each corner. It encourages an overtake. It encourages a dive bomb. Elliot Parker seizing the opportunity, making the move done, and now he needs to catch Real DC up ahead. It's going to be tight, but I think it is doable. Lee Webb. Where is Lee Webb? Lee? Well, that's going to be 4 penalty points on Lee Webb's license then for retiring on track. I hope everything is okay at home. Elliot Parker losing a substantial chunk of time to Real DC, and I'm fearing that this race is going to be all but said and done already. People were having to avoid Lee Webb's AI. What can I say? But Roger Well to the inside of Elliot Parker, and he's going to get the move done before turn 12. Doesn't shock me in the slightest, slowing it down. Elliot Parker is close, and on those mediums he does have the pace, but Roger Well looks like he's going to slow him down, and DC, barring a spin, I think, is in a world of his own. In the absence of any real battles, I might as well talk to the comment. Oh, we got a spinner, and it's bad, Luke. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Not a good day for bad Luke whatsoever. He did say he didn't practice for this race, and unfortunately it shows. He's having a bit of a dismal affair. But, while we're preparing for the next DRS straight of action, please let me know in the comment section your thoughts on Jeddah, the race happening this weekend in Real F1. Let me know, who do you think is going to win, Max? Who do you think is going to lose, Ferrari? Let me know all of the good stuff. Rimanek gets a 3-second time penalty, however, and Elliot Parker is absolutely miles behind Roger Well, appearing to lose the car very late on in the straight. There's another yellow flag. Bad Luke has DNF'd, and is that the safety car we are looking for? Yes, it is. Only 10 drivers remaining in the Dakota Grand Prix for Ero Ps F4. If you enjoyed the video so far, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check the link in the description below to join the party. You get to race with us, you get to talk to us, you may even get to commentate with us. It'd be a pleasure to have you here. So please consider joining if you were new to Ero. But we have a safety car. And for someone like Elliot Parker, this is the golden opportunity to pit. I will be amazed if he doesn't enter the pit lane. Roger Wells clearly... okay, I don't quite know what happened there. Roger Wells nearly crashing. Okay, Elliot Parker, that will be reported. I'm not usually one... I've tried stopping reporting people for incidents, but that was bizarre. We're also going to ask everyone to provide their footage of the pit entry. And people into the pit lane. Kiziak and Ruminek, however, staying out on the hard tyres. Champ Hansen pitting for a new set, so is Mr. Golden Flame. Morgonius had wing damage as well the entire time, I was not aware. Elliot Parker with 6 seconds of time penalties now. So while the strategy may work, the brain is not. DC also into the pit lane, so it looks like DC and Roger will either go for a 2-stop strategy, or they're going to play the tyre saving game on these medium tyres. I'm now watching Crackshot's DNF. Lee Webb loses the car and Crackshot drives straight into him. It wouldn't surprise me if Lee Webb has a little bit of rear wing damage from that, hence why he retired. And that is, I will say, has to be deemed a Crackshot's fault. Plenty of time to avoid the incident, but fails to do so for whatever reason. I'm going to be setting a new thread for everyone to pay attention to. So, I made a mistake when I set up this lobby, which I have to apologise for. I allowed people to enter the pit lane illegally above the speed limit. So I have rectified that by making sure everyone has to provide footage of them entering the pit lane in Kota. Otherwise, it will be given a time, maybe not a time penalty, but penalty points at the very least for not providing part of their incident. But the safety car period is ending. The safety car is entering the pit lane. My mouth is sore, but it's excited to shout for the action that's yet to come, as I have a little bit of a drink of my lemon and lime 7-Up for free. Kiziak getting ready to get us underway in Kota for lap 10. Yum. And away we go. A very, very late restart from him, but he gets the job done. Ruminek defending from DC, and is DC going to go for a dive? No, he thinks better of it. Playing it safe for now. Rogerwell very, very close. Can't see any real battling in the mid-pack, but Fifcio is looking to go for a dive on Champhampton at some point. You can just feel it. You know, Champhampton has pulled away now. And that is not going to be happening. DC very, very close behind. Hansen making the overtake and Adrian Goricki. But the top 5 and the bottom 5 are very, very, very quickly seeing a divide. There, DC, is he going to go for an overtake here? No, just a little bit too far back. But we got nearly 3 wide going into turn 12. Adrian Goricki pulls out of it, going from P6 to P9. In a small section of corners, he simply didn't want to risk it, and possibly, I can't help but feel like he was probably correct for that call. I think it was a bit too dangerous there. Ficcio getting a very, very slow exit. Morgoni is looking to go around the outside of the triple apex, but he just can't manage to move. And this has allowed Stamp Hansen to catch back up, or to attempt to catch back up to the gaggle of cars ahead and resume his battle with DC for P1. DC very, very close to Ruminek. He's on the inside. He's already ahead before the braking zone. And he gets the move done easily. Is Ruminek going to go for a dive of his own? Nope, he just can't manage it. But Roger well knows if he needs to make an overtake stick, he needs to make it do it soon. Otherwise, he is not going to be able to catch up with DC. DC's pace is phenomenal today in a league of its own. And we will see what happens. Rodgewell very close to the back. Ruminek using all of the DRS, looking for a dive at any moment now. Really pushing with all he has. And Ruminek not pushing as much. Ruminek is actually playing it quite cool. That is allowing Rodgewell to catch up. But it does mean in the later stages, Rodgewell is going to struggle with a lack of ERS as Mr. Golden Flame makes the overtake on Adrian Goricki for P9. Remember, he needs to be P7. 6 points to catch up to Barry Krieger in this championship fight. It will be tight, but it's certainly possible. We've got a spinner, got a crash, and it's DC, and I want to say Kiziak. Yes, it is. I don't know who is at fault. But DC with front wing damage, I want to say. Well, I don't want to say it, but I think that's the truth. Yeah, he's going very slow here, and he's coming into the pit lane now. What about Kiziak? I'm not so sure. DRS now enabled. He's into the pit lane, getting the front wing fixed. Kiziak stays out, however. I need to see what happened. It looked like DC was on the inside of the turn. Was he left enough space, or was he not sufficiently alongside and entitled to space? We're going to find out very, very soon. And it's a shame to see DC spin. It was such a good race from him, dominating the field as Elliot Parker with, at this rate, a time penalty, a lap. Mr. Golden Flame also getting a time penalty. And Ruminek, that's odd driving. That is really odd driving. What is going on here? Hansen's lost control of the car at some point. Adrian Goricki is now letting him through. There was a yellow flag there. And Ruminek is now behind Rodgewell again, but that, I will investigate that as a brake check. I need to see what happened there. I imagine it'll be reported anyway, but even still. Ruminek with a time penalty on old tyres. He'll have to pit again. But Rodgewell now has this race to himself. There's another yellow flag, and it's Stamp Hansen once again. He just cannot get the car under control. This is painful to watch. One lap is fast, the next lap he spins there. Oh my god, these tyres are so hot. Yeah, you need to relax, boy. You need to relax. Or is he coming in through the pit lane? No, he's staying out. It's just the tyres are gone. They're completely gone. Well, he's pushing here, but I don't think barreling with DC is going to be the smartest move. No, he's letting DC go. Thankfully, he's not going for a battle though. Cause if he did, I can see him spinning again. Oh, just about saves it, but not quite. And there is a train forming in the middle of the field as we've got a spinner, and it's Kiziek this time. Possibly contact, a very dangerous rejoin. Wow, I'm reporting a lot of stuff today. As 50 is very, very slow on the straight. We've got another yellow flag. It's Jam Hansen once more, not particularly surprising. Morgonius makes the move for P4. 50 just going very, very slowly, leading the train. And Mr. Golden Flame trying to catch up. What's going on? Now, Elliot Parker hot on the heels of Ruminak. The 9 seconds are really going to weigh him down. But if he didn't get these time penalties, just think what the prospects could be for this race. Do-do-do-do. Ruminak going very wide. Elliot Parker taking a tighter line. The chase is on. Elliot Parker clearly does have the pace through DC, sitting the fastest lap in the race, a 1:37.9, clearly using the balanced tyre compounds to his liking. As Roger Wells went wide, and Ruminek is going to get DRS and possibly go for a dive. No, he's not going to go for a dive because he gets the move done already, but Roger Wells keeping his nose in there. Could there be contact? No, not quite. Roger Wells is not going to have the DRS on this straight, and he's clearly looking for Elliot Parker to go through, not using the slipstream to his advantage. Ruminek is flashing. That's a good motivational boost for Elliot and Rogerwell, especially Elliot. But Rogerwell really should be flying away now. He does not need to be behind the two hard runners in front of him, being bogged down, especially when tyre wear is not his friend today. Elliot Parker, looking like he nearly lost control of the car. Is Rogerwell going to go for a dive? Please, not there. No, thankfully he doesn't. Elliot Parker, a dive into turn one. Is he going to make the move stick? Yes, he does. Much better throttle control on the exit. As Elliot Parker then goes very, very wide, lets Ruminek through, slightly blocking Rogerwell, though I'm really not sure what's going on anymore. Race has been a little bit hectic. Has Elliot Parker gone round? No, not quite. Rogerwell losing control of the car once more. Mr. Goblin Flame is now in the DRS of 50. Mr. Golden Flame going for another bite of the cherry, but Roger overtaking Ruminek for the lead of this race. Ruminek using all of his ERS, even without the DRS. He's going to go for the overtake. And, oh God, Elliot Parker pushing his car, pushing Roger to the lead. Saving Roger arse, you have to say there. Elliot Parker now going for a dive on Ruminek once again. A little bit of contact made, but all is fair. They're going too wide still. Elliot Parker will have to go for the switch back here. Does he get it done? Yes, he does. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. He's going to go a little bit wide for the free apexes, and Minsky looks for an overtake that slows down. Thinks more intelligently about this. Elliot Parker no longer having DRS to Roger. This is Roger time to go for the lead. As Ruminek goes into the pit lane for his first stop of the evening. Completely forgot that he hadn't pit. But 16 laps for him says a lot about how far those sides can actually go. Roger is going to struggle the next 11 laps of this race, and I'm really sorry that I keep on going silent, but there just isn't too much for me to commentate on here. Mr. Golden Flame up into P4, overtaking 50 when we were looking at that battle between Roger, Parker and Rominsky. But yeah, hopefully we will have better attendance in future races. It seems like today was just a bit of a doozy all round. As Kiziak spins once more down to last position in this race. On the new tyres, that's not a good way to start a stint. And while I was away, Morgonius was flying away, overtaking Elliot Parker, and now only a second behind Rodgewell, who really can't seem to get a flow on the race. A rhythm, so to speak. Morgonius is now in leading contention for a good point scoring position here, maybe even a race win. Mr. Golden Flame also putting his name in the hat. Only a few seconds behind Elliot. We've got a spinner. Oh no, actually, my apologies. There's an overtake. Real DC making the overtake on Gariaki. Yes, and I'm sorry for my poor commentary performance today. I am completely not with it. We get a flag in Sector 1. Kiziek spinning again, but Morgonius looks like he's going to go for the overtake. Oh, D! He's hit Roger Well. Roger Well spun round. Roger Well without a front wing. Elliot Parker possibly also with damage. Roger Well pushed wide. That's a free single time penalty. Can be removed. Mr. Golden Flame up into P2, and that's almost a certain penalty for Morgonius. Mr. Golden Flame. So Elliot Parker also without a piece of front wing. They're both going to have to pit. And all of a sudden, DC could be on for a podium once again. Yeah, Elliot Parker and Roger Well really, really struggling to get around the track. Understandable. Elliot Parker. Okay. Roger Well and Elliot Parker having a fantastic battle in Sector 3. As Elliot Parker gets his 12 seconds of time penalties now. It's just been a bit of a disaster. 20? So 15 seconds of time penalties and a speeding in the pit lane penalty. Elliot Parker really shouldn't be battling anyone anymore. He should be getting out of the way. Those penalties clearly are not being removed. Mr. Golden Flame catching up to Warmagonius. But I think Mr. Golden Flame will know this. He's in good stead to lead the championship after today. And 18 points looking likely. 25 points also looking likely. We're going to see what happens in America, in Austin, Texas, not Miami, not Las Vegas. 7 people still watching the stream. If you're enjoying it, please put a comment down. Let me see who's watching. I want to know. As Morgonius goes very, very wide, Mr. Golden Flame is surely going to look for an overtake now. Ennis, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about your brother having a real job. That's out of my remit, apparently. Justice for Barry, though, yes. South Africa electricity is unacceptable for a league racer of Barry's caliber. Barry deserves the best electricity ever, not this. as Mr. Golden Flame makes the overtake stick, and now I'm not so sure, knows if Morgonius has a potential penalty coming his way. So for now, Mr. Golden Flame is going to have to get a move on. He has 5, maybe at 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 5 laps starting, about 10 seconds to build a 2-second gap to the car behind. I'm aware he did not practice for this race, so this has been a stunning performance nonetheless. But you do just have to think, what would have happened if DC and Kisiek didn't make contact? That is undeniable that I think DC would have dominated this race, and a P4, potential P3 for him probably feels like a small consolation prize for what was a much better performance. We're going to overtake in the back of the pack, Rogerwell and Adrian Garecki. Rogerwell gets the move done before the corner, then Stamp Hansen spins once more. Just not his day today. These tyres are screaming as he goes around again. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he retires now. But does he have more resilience than me to keep going? Yes, he does. Beautiful stuff. Mr. Golden Flame now extending his lead by about 3 attempts on Morgonius. Make it 5 now. Morgonius clearly having a little bit of an issue. Quite far behind Mr. Golden Flame. Does look like he's securing this lead. Golden Flame extending the lead to 2 seconds on Morgonius. He just needs to push a little bit more, and the race victory will all but certainly be his. If you have a yellow flag in sector 3, and it's Stamp Hansen once more in neutral, rolling in the car. He just cannot get this set of corners right. Don't know why his tyres are so hot, but it's just not working out for him. If he stays in the race, he will get a point, however, for his troubles. So, he's picking up the point, even if it's a small consolation. DC now nearly within 3 seconds of 50. He's pushing to get the final podium position. It'd be quite a surprise to be able to interview Real DC after what happened at the start of this race, but with so little drivers. Maybe it's not a particular surprise that you can make a mistake and still get to the podium. Or not make a mistake, but be involved in a collision. My apologies. DC is pushing now. I'd like to see if anyone is really gunning for it. As Adrian Garecki gets a 3-second time penalty. He'll still gain the position to Elliot Parker, don't worry. But unfortunately, it's not going to help his chances, to say the least. And Elliot Parker with 7-second time penalty looks to only be losing 1 position because of it now, which is quite incredible. Elliot Parker to the outside. Here he goes. Breaks later than Roger Well. Roger Well looking up ever so slightly, and Elliot, he's going to go for what looked like a switchback attempt, but he's just not fast enough to make it work. But he's going to go for a dive here. Nope. In fact, he gets his 23rd second penalty of the race as Champ Hansen is going for the fastest lap on the soft compound of tyre. They're fresh, but he's been lapped. So, actually, no, he's on lap 26. Everyone else is on lap 27, so he will still get to set his lap tyre on the final lap of the race. Hopefully a pole position lap from him. We're going to get a flag, and it's Kiziek once more with a dismal performance, but just about making it work. Let's go to the penalties just to make sure. Yep, 23 seconds for Elliot Parker. But his pace is quite incredible, to be fair, especially for an F5 driver. And that every time I watch him in this slalom section, he doesn't seem fast. He always gets it done for whatever reason. But he's not going to get DRS on Rodwell here, allowing Rodwell to push ever so slightly. DC, his tyres are going off, unfortunately. But 50, there's a yellow flag. Oh, 50 was overtaking Champ Hansen. DC is actually going to be really tight between DC and 50 to see who rounds out the podium positions. It's going to be tight. Mr. Golden Flame just about. Mr. Golden Flame gets a time penalty again. No. Oh dear. He was just looking like he was gonna easily secure this race victory, but Morgonius has caught back up on the final laps of the race. Mr. Golden Flame with that 6-second time penalty is now gonna fall down to P2. There's still a possible potential penalty for Morgonius, but he's not going to be crowned the provisional winner here, I can guarantee. 50 really close up now. DC's 3 seconds and 2 tenths behind. Can DC catch up to 50? It's going to be very, very tight. It has been a good performance from Real DC. Don't let anyone say anything different. It has genuinely been a stunning display. He's catching, it's 2.9 now. It's going to be very, very tight between the Aston Martin driver. That's Champ Hansen spinning once more. He's not going to be able to set the fastest lap. Who's it going to be? 50 or DC to the line. It's going to be tight. 50 crosses the line. Real DC makes it by half a tenth to come P3. It's another Aston Martin podium. Double podium, rather. That is a fantastic race in Kota. Only 13 drivers, but they provided the goods as Elliot Parker comes across the line to finish what is going to be P9, possibly, due to his 23 seconds of time penalties. Kiziek just needs to push with all he's got, but I find it unlikely that he's going to cross the line ahead of Elliot Parker. No, he did. In fact, he did. So, wow, Elliot Parker seems a little bit upset at Morgonius, but keep your cool. Please keep your cool. So, Real DC somehow only finishing 6 seconds behind the race winner Morgonius after a very eventful day down in Austin. But Morgonius is your provisional race winner. We will bring him him in for an interview in a second. Mr. Golden Flame squandering the opportunity. Time penalties. His enemy Vivcio takes up P4, followed by Rumanek in P5. The McLaren is putting on a pretty impressive showing after a dismal qualifying, with Roswell P6. Adrian Gorecki finishes P7 with his Polish compatriot Kiziak in P8, just about overtaking Elliot Parker due to his 23 seconds of time penalties. Stamp Hansen finishes 10th, rounding out the final point. Yeah, and it only spun 30 times, as he said. Very consistent race. Consistently, just spinny. And with Bad Luke, Lee Webb, and Ero Crackshot, the drivers without a flag, the drivers who end up DNFing from this race. We're going to bring in drivers for the interviews now. If I start the party, invite the drivers. It's going to be playing together. Golden Flame, Morgonius, and Cyril, Real DC. Whoever joins first will be interviewed first, as is usually the case. I need to charge my phone as well. I'm not entirely sure why. That will mean that Mr. Golden Flame will go to P1 in the standings, if my maths is correct. A very, very impressive showing from him, indeed, to solidify himself at the top of the Ero Ps F4 table. Hopefully, Barry Kruger does not face the same power issues next week. But as he said, it's impossible to win a championship when your own country hates you. So that's an unfortunate fact of life. What I believe. Maybe a phone call, but it isn't. That's disappointing. And it's Mr. Golden Flame who joins the party first. We'll be doing the first interview with you. 6 seconds of time penalties ended up being your enemy today.
Hey, hang on. We'll forget about that.
Okay. We can't forget about the time penalties because they were rather crucial to your race. Welcome to the party, DC.
Cheers, mate.
I'm going to start with Gold first because I have a feeling that Gold is our actual race winner. Morgonius was involved in a collision with Rogerwell.
Yeah, I'll let you talk.
What to hear.
And DC, you in a collision with Kiziak.
Yeah.
Hey, but look, double Aston Martin podium. What can we say?
2 weeks in a row, mate. It's what we
2
like
weeks
to
in
see.
a row.
It's a double podium in situations that weren't, benefiting you. I just want to ask DC, I wasn't sure what happened. I'm guessing Kiziak lost control of the car and slid into you. Am I correct in that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what turn was it. It was the left, the sweeping left, but I don't know what turn number it is. I went for sort of a mini switchback, which I tend to do at that corner to just to try and get a good exit. I knew I was faster than him. I was on mediums. I was on fresh mediums. He was on old hards. Trying to get the switch back, and I don't think it benefited me because he just lost control, and I had no time to react to avoid him. So that was it. Red left wing. Had to go into the pits, but I mean the recovery back to P3, I'll take it.
I mean, it was nearly not P3. You and Vivcio were just bouncing on the 2.9 to 3.2 second mark. But on the final lap,
my tyres were on 65%, I think, at the end. I pit for mediums for that safety car and just went from there. Just after this, 2 laps after the safety car, sorry, so it wasn't even under the safety car. So yeah, went right to the back on those mediums and made them last like 20 something laps.
It would be around that. I know. I think if you were to have stayed on those mediums with a safety car, you may have had to have pit anyway because the potential of a puncture was quite strong, to say the least. But yeah, your pace was, you were 5 seconds ahead after about 5 laps. I think.
Yeah, I am gutted because not to take away anything from anyone, but I feel like without that collision, that was my dub. But if Adam's gonna get it, then I don't mind.
Yeah,
I
but
think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter who gets it, as
No,
long as it's not.
I'm here for the constructors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's why Aston Martin are doing so good in the constructors as well. A
Well,
very
I've not had a
balanced
teammate for
team.
5 weeks. I need someone to help me, and this is perfect, really.
I'm here to do my best. If I can get a couple of podiums and wins along the way, I don't mind it.
Oh, you've already got a couple of podiums, a couple of wins. I'm sure will
Just a few.
come shortly. Yeah, but it was a really good performance from you, DC, pace-wise.
I
Stuff
appreciate that, mate.
happens.
After the last couple of weeks, not just here but everywhere else, to get pole was just nice. It was nice.
Yeah. And then everyone around you, Hansen spun just after overtaking you. The Williams crashed with each other.
It was.
Yeah, Alnan, I think it was. He spun in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah, but he spun about 30 times, so it was a consistent thing throughout the race. Adam, you wanted to say something? Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I worked out before the race how many points I needed to, go above and above Barry. And actually, the two people I was scared of the most was who could obviously take the points off me was Ruminski and Kvyat because they were close to me in the championship. And so, unfortunate for them, but I'm happy that they were further down.
Things didn't go particularly well for them either.
You know what I mean. My hearts were on 80% the rears by the end of the race.
I know you're on them for 23 laps.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is really scary, and I think that maybe explains why at the end of the race, Morgonius managed to catch you back up.
Yeah, I kept understeering and just going wide. It was mental.
Yeah, but it was. Again, I don't think Morgonius is joining the party. I've invited him, but he hasn't responded. So
what happened between them three? Because they were 3 seconds ahead of me, and then I get to the end of the straight, and they're all in a pile with wing damage everywhere.
Well, as the steward, I don't want to definitively say Morgonius hit. Not hit. Okay, I won't go ahead at that one.
I can watch it back.
But there was a collision between them in which Morgonius went into the back of Rogerwell, and then Rogerwell span into Elliot Parker. So they both had front wing damage. There was a lot of times in this race where whoever was leading the race lost out due to damage rather than an actual overtake. And
I mean, I spun a couple of times at the beginning.
Yeah,
it wasn't a very nice track. There just wasn't any grip. It felt like.
No, I mean, as a controller user, this is an awful track. So I have no happiness. I'm glad I'm not racing here tomorrow. But yeah, it's a shame there was only 13 people today, including a reserve. But it meant that points were relatively easy to get, and as ever, Aston Martin came through with the goods. I haven't done the maths, but I'm pretty sure you're now leading the Constructors' Championship. I'd be surprised if you're not.
We're here to take
both
over.
Williams, DNF.
Exactly.
Or the Alpines.
The Alpines got, I think, 4 points. So, but Aston Martin's here to take over, as you said, DC, and you have taken over. You've only been here 3 weeks, DC, and Aston Martin have went from armless to the best. So
I promised Adam some performances, so I'm just delivering on that.
To be honest, when you turned up, all I wanted was someone who turned up. So actually, just being quick and getting podiums is a godsend and a bonus. I couldn't ask for more. Congrats on getting pole as well.
Yeah, good. Like I said, it's a good feeling after just to actually have some pace.
I invalidated 4 of my 5 laps in qualifying.
It's that sector 1, absolute killer.
On the last lap, I was
one of my
favourite
tracks. So
on my old time, and I just thought, you know what, I'll set it.
Just might as well.
Can't bother anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you want to ask each other before I end the interview.
See you next
Same
week.
again next week.
Perfect. Well, I've been your host for today, Liam Cross. This has been Ero Ps F4 in Austin for the Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. Next week, we're going to be in Baku, the streets of Baku. I have bad memories of Baku, but we'll be there. But if you're interested in a little bit more action this weekend around this same circuit from tomorrow, 5 p.m. GMT, actually, 7 p.m. GMT, it would be Ero Ps F3, F2, and PCF2 because of the Saudi race or qualifying happening on the same day. And if I'm aware, because I don't know for PC, but Ero PC F1 on Sundays usually starts at 4 p.m. I believe it'll be starting a little bit later because of the Grand Prix, but you join the server, you can check for yourself. If you have enjoyed the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, consider that please. Check the description to see the link below to join the Discord. Race with us, talk to us. It's going to be great, I assure you. But I've been your host, Liam Cross. This has been Ero, and please have a lovely weekend, whatever you do. Bye.